All right, welcome. Today we're diving into an ancient text that honestly reads like a blockbuster movie script. I mean, it's got everything: cosmic battles, mind-bending prophecies, and a vision for a whole new world.
So let me ask you something. Imagine if a book detailing the end of the world and the beginning of the next was written thousands of years ago, and then we lost it, only to piece it back together from scattered fragments. Well, guess what? It's not a what if. A book like that actually exists.
The book we're talking about is the Apocalypse of Baruch. It's this absolutely fascinating ancient Jewish text that, didn't quite make it into every version of the Bible. It gives us this incredible peek into how people long ago thought about judgment, renewal, and, the end times.
And let's be super clear here, this isn't some modern invention. This is an ancient work with really deep historical roots. It's said to have been written by Baruch, the actual scribe who worked with the famous prophet Jeremiah. Yeah, that Jeremiah. This puts it smack dab in the middle of ancient Jewish thought, probably around the 2nd century BCE.
Okay, so before we get into the wild stuff, let's meet the main players in this cosmic drama. First up, you've got Baruch. He's our guy, the visionary who gets the whole prophecy downloaded into his brain. Then, of course, there's God, who is the source of the vision and the ultimate judge. And finally, the Messiah, who is the key figure set to kick off a whole new era of peace. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, what Baruch actually sees. We're not talking about some vague, fuzzy prediction here. No, this is a detailed, step-by-step vision of how the world wraps up. Let's get right to the core of it. The whole vision unfolds in 5 key stages, kind of like acts in a giant cosmic play. It kicks off with light, a moment where the entire earth is just flooded with illumination. Then comes the great sorting. You've got punishment for the wicked and reward for the righteous. After that, the Messiah arrives for the restoration of Israel. And the grand finale? Total renewal, the creation of a brand new heaven and a new earth. So for the unfaithful, the picture is, well, it's pretty grim. The prophecy talks about a day of God's wrath. This is the final reckoning, the moment the bill comes due and wickedness is met with justice. It's a really powerful and, frankly, sobering image of accountability.
But on the flip side, for the righteous, it's a completely different story. We're not just talking about getting a pat on the back. We are talking about a complete do-over for all of existence, a new heaven and a new earth. And this right here is the heart of the vision, this incredible, stark contrast. Total destruction for evil and total renewal for good.
Okay, so we have this epic vision, but what does it all mean? This text is absolutely packed with symbols and heavy themes that scholars have been trying to unpack for centuries. To really get it, you got to know the symbolic language it's using.
One of the biggest ideas in here is something called the 7 weeks. Now, don't think of this as 49 days on your calendar. It's a symbolic period of intense testing and purification that the faithful have to go through before the end. The number 7 in the ancient world was a huge deal. It often meant perfection or completion. So 7 weeks is like this complete, final cycle of trials to strengthen faith before the big payoff.
And this 7 weeks idea is a perfect example of the book's whole vibe, which is all about this apocalyptic imagery. I mean, you gotta think big. We're talking grand, cosmic visions, not just about the world ending, but about God's kingdom finally being established and good winning for good.
This all falls under a fancy term, eschatology. But really, all that means is stuff about the end times. And the Apocalypse of Baruch? Oh, it's a classic example, diving into everything from the final judgment to what the Messiah's role is in the world's ultimate destiny.
And to tell this whole end-time story, the book uses all these powerful symbols. Like in one part, you've got these seals that get opened, and each one represents a different era of human history. You've got an angel who acts as a divine messenger. And of course, those 7 weeks we just talked about, this super important period of trial.
So you're probably wondering, if this book is so incredible, how did we even get it? Well, its journey through history is almost as dramatic as the prophecies inside it. It wasn't just sitting on a library shelf for 2,000 years, that's for sure.
Get this, the original manuscript, it's gone, vanished. The only reason we can read it today is because scholars found bits and pieces of it, fragments in other ancient languages, like Coptic and Greek. They basically had to reassemble a giant ancient puzzle. It's some serious historical detective work.
And that brings us to why you might not have heard of it. It's considered a deuterocanonical text. All that really means is that it's in the official scripture of some Bibles, but not others. So you'll find it in Catholic and Eastern Orthodox Bibles, but it wasn't included in the Protestant canon, along with other books like Tobit and 1 Maccabees.
Okay, so it's a cool old book that was lost and then found. But, so what? Does it actually matter today? The answer is a huge yes. Let's take a look at the ripples it's created through time. This thing is way more than just a museum piece. Within some Jewish traditions, its themes of hope and renewal after tough times really resonate, especially during festivals like Passover. And for scholars, oh, it's been a goldmine. Its rich, symbolic imagery has fueled centuries of commentary, debate, and interpretation.
When you get right down to it, the Apocalypse of Baruch proves something really powerful. Our fascination with apocalyptic stories is nothing new. It's this ancient, deeply human quest to find meaning in chaos and to hold on to hope for a better future. The very fact that this text was lost and then found, it just reminds us that for thousands of years, we've been looking to the horizon, wondering what comes next, and telling stories to try and make sense of it all.